about the different bearing systems. That is whole circle bearing and quadrantal bearing system we'll be seeing about. So what is this compass surveying? Compass surveying is all about angular measurements. Like you are trying to find out the direction of the survey lines. So for that we need these angles. And all of you know the first thing that comes to mind when you think of compass is about direction. So suppose we want to know this point C. So from A, and suppose we know this horizontal line B, we can measure the angle alpha. And from B also we can measure an angle beta. So this is with respect to this line AB. So usually what happens is we have to specify a direction with respect to some line. So that line usually we take as north. So suppose this is your north-south line and you wanted to measure and you want to know the direction of this line AC. So that is nothing but with respect to the north reference line, it is theta. So this is also known as the bearing of a line. So this theta is the bearing of line AC, which gives you the direction with respect to a meridian. This is also known as meridian, this north-south line. So this meridian here is north-south line, and we use this north-south line because it does not change. So this is like a fixed line of reference. Even if you measure at point B, your north-south line will be like this only. So these fixed lines of references are known as meridians. So sometimes this fixed line of reference is not just the north-south line. Suppose sometimes you will have a reference point, like you will have a chimney or a tower which is not going to move at all for years. Then you can measure with respect to that. So these are known as arbitrary reference points. So we'll see about the different types of meridian. So first is your true meridian. So that is nothing but the line through true north and south poles. So this always remains fixed, and to find out the exact true meridian we need some astronomical observations. So when a bearing is measured with respect to a true meridian, it's known as true bearing. Then we have magnetic meridian, which is commonly used. It is the direction, like it is the direction indicated by freely suspended magnetic needle. So this magnetic meridian is always not equal to this true meridian because it is affected by Earth's magnetism. It also keeps on varying by time also. So magnetic meridian does not remain constant when you measure at a certain place near the equator, and when you go to the North Pole and measure, the magnetic meridian may not indicate the same direction because it is affected by the Earth's magnetism. But this magnetic meridian is good for measurements at a localized place because for a given time it's going to remain constant. So a bearing which is measured with respect to this magnetic meridian is known as magnetic bearing. Then we saw about arbitrary reference points like a chimney or a tower which is used. So these are nothing but directions with respect to a well-defined reference point which you choose arbitrarily. So we'll see more about the magnetic meridian a bit later. Before that, we'll see about the bearing system. So there are two types of bearing system. One is whole circle bearing system and another is quadrant bearing system. So this is also known as reduced bearing system, and this is also known as azimuthal system. So in case of whole circle bearing system, which I am abbreviating as WCB, and this I am abbreviating as QB. So in case of whole circle bearing system, you measure it clockwise with respect to the reference north. So whatever is your angle, suppose this is your origin O and you want to measure the point A. So you measure it clockwise from north. So this is your whole circle bearing. So this is north south, and here you have east and west. And suppose you want to measure a point, you want to measure a line OB. So again this also you have to do all the way from north clockwise. So suppose this is your east west and this is your north south reference line. We are measuring clockwise from this north south line. So this is your whole circle bearing for OB. And similarly, if you have a point here, let us say, so this will be your whole circle bearing. And again, if we have a point in this quadrant, in this place, if we have, let us say OD it is, so this will be your whole circle bearing. Always you have to measure clockwise from the north-south line. So that is your whole circle bearing. Let us try to understand quadrant bearing system also. So in case of quadrant bearing system, the bearing is measured either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise I am abbreviated as ACW, from north or south, whichever is closer to the line. Suppose you have let us take the same example. Let us take this example of OB. So this is east, this is west, and this is north and south. So this OB, so this is more close towards the south. So you measure it like this, and it is represented as south alpha W. So it is more closer towards the south, and here it is measured clockwise. And suppose let us say we have this point OD. So this is more close towards the north. So we are measuring anti-clockwise like this. let us say this is beta. So this is represented as north, beta, west. So this north or south comes first, then east or west comes here, and this is your angle. So this is called quadrant bearing system because each of this is in a quadrant. It is each 90 degrees a quadrant. So you have like 4 quadrants here. So this is about whole circle bearing system and quadrant bearing system, and one system can be converted to another system very easily by drawing a diagram. Let us say you have a reduced bearing or quadrant bearing. They have given as south 60 degree west. How to convert this into whole circle bearing system? So first let us try to draw this. So here it is in south and west. So it is in this quadrant. So we have drawn the north and south line. This is east and west. So they are given S and W. So that means this line is lying in this quadrant at an angle 60 degree from south. So this is 60 degrees. So obviously your whole circle bearing means you are measuring clockwise from north. So that will be this 180 degree. Each quadrant is 90 degree. So 90 plus 90, 180 plus this 60 degree. So whole circle bearing is 180 plus 60. So that is equal to 240 degrees. And suppose you have an angle of north 30 degree east. So it is in the first quadrant itself. So this is 30 degrees northeast. And whole circle bearing also will be same as you are measuring clockwise from north. So WCB is 30 degree itself. Now let us find out for other way conversion. Let us say you have a whole circle bearing of 350 degrees. So we know it is lying in the fourth quadrant because 90 degree, each quadrant is 90 degree. So 90 into 3 is 270 degrees, 90 degrees into 4 is 360 degree. So this is at 90, this is at 180, this is at 270. So 350 will lie here. So this angle is 350 degree as per whole circle bearing system. And you know this is north, south, east and west. So we need to know this angle. In case of reduced bearing or quadrant bearing system, we are measuring the bearing is measured either clockwise or anti-clockwise from north or south, whichever is closer to the line. So obviously south is not closer to the line, north is closer, and we are measuring it anti-clockwise. So it is, this angle is nothing but this whole circle is 360 degree. So it is 360 degree minus 350 degree, which is 10 degrees. So this is 10 degrees and this is represented as north, 10 degrees west. Suppose let us say instead of 350 degrees, it is 350 degree 50 minutes and 45 seconds. So we know that 1 minute is 60 seconds and 1 degree is 60 minutes. So when we do this 360 degree minus this, we have to be careful when subtracting. So this will be equal to 9 degree 9 minutes and 15 seconds. So if you add this, 45 plus 15 will be 60 seconds. So that is 1 minute. 50 plus 9 plus 1, so it is 60 minutes, that is 1 degree. And 350 plus 9, 1 has carried over, so it is 360 degrees. So whenever we are converting from one system to another, it is always best to draw a diagram and quickly find it out. So for measuring these directions, we have two types of compass. One is prismatic compass and another is surveyor's compass. So this is more accurate, and this surveyor's compass has become like obsolete now. It's not used much. So in prismatic compass, it uses a whole circle bearing system, and in this they use a quadrant bearing system. And here the needle type is also different. Here it uses a broad needle, and here it is edge bar type. And one main difference is that here sighting and reading can be done simultaneously. Like if you have this prismatic compass, and if you are sighting point A from O, when you are doing that itself, you can note down the reading also. But this cannot be done in surveyor's compass. So earlier we saw that this magnetic meridian keeps on changing with respect to a place or a point because it is affected by the Earth's magnetism. But whereas the true north, which is determined by astronomical survey, does not change. It is the line through the true north and south poles. So that horizontal angle between true north and magnetic north, that is known as magnetic declination. So this magnetic declination will be useful. Suppose you want to resurvey a place after years, then it will be useful in such cases. So true bearing equal to magnetic bearing plus or minus declination. The difference is declination. If it is towards the east, it is positive, and if it is towards the west, it is negative. Like if it is towards the east, it is positive, otherwise we have to take a negative. So if this is your true north and this is your magnetic north, so this will be your declination, and it is positive when it is in the east side. And we also have some more points if we have a line joining points of equal declination. So those are known as isogonic lines. And there are points where the declination is 0, and that line is known as agonic line. And let us try to understand how the magnetic declination varies. So first we have diurnal variation, which is like daily variation. So this will be very less in the order of 1 second like that. So that is due to rotation of Earth about its own axis. So this is usually very less variation near the equator and more towards the poles. And also we can find more variation in the day or in summer. Then we have annual variation, which like varies, this declination varies annually. It is about 1 to 2 minutes variation only. And this annual variation is due to Earth going around the sun. Then we have secular variation also, which is like it varies in 100 to 150 years approximately, and this cause is not quite understood. And then there is irregular variation also, that is due to some magnetic disturbances around. So this could be in the order of like 1 degree. Then we also have something called needle or magnetic dip. So that is the angle made with the horizontal by Earth's magnetic field lines. So you have Earth's magnetic field lines. So how much angle that makes with the horizontal at any given point. So that is known as needle or magnetic dip. So when you suspend a needle, like a freely suspended needle, how much angle it makes with the horizontal, that will give you this needle or magnetic dip. So it is 0 degree at the equator, and when it goes towards the poles, it's about 90 degree.